The streets of downtown Atlanta echoed this Monday afternoon. Cars honked, street vendors shouted over each other, and office workers hurried by with phones pressed to their ears. No one noticed the frail, white-haired woman sitting on the cold stone bench near the bus terminal, except him. 17-year-old Jaden had skipped school again today. He wasn't proud of it, but between juggling 2 part-time jobs and caring for his little sister after their mom passed away, going to school felt like a luxury he couldn't afford. He had only $10 tucked in the back pocket of his ripped jeans. His shoes were 2 sizes too small, and his stomach growled louder than the city. But he saw her. The old woman was hunched over, her head buried in trembling hands, her shoulders shaking with sobs. People passed by as if she were invisible. Some noticed, most didn't. Jaden stopped. Something about her reminded him of his grandmother, who had died alone in a nursing home because he and his mother couldn't afford the trip to visit. He hesitated. He had a million things to do, food to get for his sister, homework to fake. But something in his heart wouldn't let him walk away. He slowly sat beside her. "Ma'am. Are you okay?" She didn't lift her head, but her sobs softened slightly. Jaden waited. He didn't touch her, didn't bombard her with questions. He just sat. Finally, she whispered, "They took everything. My purse, my phone. I don't know how to get home. I don't even know where I am." Jaden's heart sank. She looked so weak, her coat was thin and damp, her shoes mismatched. Jaden didn't know what to do, but he knew he couldn't leave her like this. "What's your name?" he asked gently. "Elaine," she said, lifting her head for the first time. Her eyes were clouded with fear and exhaustion. "I'm Jaden." "Don't worry, Miss Elaine. I'll help you, okay?" He reached into his pocket and pulled out his $10. He had saved it for dinner for himself and his sister, but right now, this woman needed it more. He took her to a small nearby diner, one that didn't ask too many questions. He bought her a bowl of soup and a cup of tea, and they sat quietly as she slowly began to calm down. As she sipped her tea, she shared her story. She had come to the city to meet an old friend. Somewhere along the way, she got confused, wandered too far, and someone stole her purse while she was resting for a moment. She had no relatives nearby. No one to call. Jaden's mind raced. He didn't have much, but maybe the diner manager could help. Maybe someone knew of a shelter or a church or something. But then something unexpected happened. The waitress, a young woman named Carla, who had been watching them, came over and gently asked Jaden about Elaine. When he explained everything, Carla looked at him for a long moment, then disappeared into the back. Moments later, the diner owner came out. He introduced himself as Mr. Harris. After hearing Elaine's story, he sat with her. It turned out his own mother had gone missing under similar circumstances, scared, confused, and ignored by a busy world. He made a few calls. Within an hour, Elaine had a warm coat, a ride arranged to a nearby senior center, and a staff member who had known her for years arrived. It turned out she was a retired schoolteacher, beloved and respected. Jaden stood to the side, watching as people hugged her, tears of gratitude now flowing from her eyes. Before leaving, she turned to Jaden, held his face in her hands, and said, "You were the only one who saw me. Thank you, my sweet child. You reminded me that kindness still lives." Jaden smiled. "Take care, Miss Elaine." As she left, Carla slipped $20 into Jaden's hand. "For you. And your sister. You did something beautiful today." He resisted, but she insisted. That night, he went home with food for his sister and a feeling in his heart he hadn't felt in a long time, hope. The next day, his story spread. Carla had posted the encounter on social media, calling Jaden, the poor boy with the richest heart. The post went viral. Within days, strangers from around the world started sending donations. Jaden and his sister received groceries, clothes, and even a scholarship offer from a local college. And Elaine? She reunited with an old niece who had been searching for her for months. Their emotional reunion was covered by a local news station, and Jaden was invited as a guest. When asked why he helped, Jaden simply said, "Because someone had to. I just did what I'd hoped someone would do for my sister if she were ever in trouble." The audience went silent. And then rose to their feet, applauding the boy who had nothing, but gave everything. In a world that often feels busy, indifferent, and cold, one teenager reminded everyone that sometimes, all it takes to change a life, is to see someone. Kindness isn't about how much you have, it's about how much you care. In the rush of life, may we never forget that by stopping, seeing, and helping, we can transform someone's entire world. Because one act of compassion can change everything.